What's up, guys? Chan Trades. The mic in place. There we go. All right, so we're back with another trade. Today is December 4th, 25. I didn't record me actually taking this trade fully. I have been recording my trades the past few days, but today I just kind of wanted just to do me, and we'll see. I'll probably get back into recording my trades in a little bit. But I want to go over this trade because it was very weird. But I was still able to essentially like figure out what price was gonna do. So just kind of moving into today real quick. So we were mainly just consolidating after that really big move yesterday. So my bias was I wanted to look for some form of either like high or really like some form of manipulation of either like London highs or London lows is really the range I was wanting to play in today, just because I knew it was probably going to be slow because we had that really big move yesterday. We were consolidating, and we didn't have any news today. That's a big one. So essentially, like right at market open, we manipulate, or like pre-market open, we manipulate and sweep London session liquidity. Cool. And we do the same on NQ, but we also go create this huge SMT. After we create this SMT, market opens and we just have just a huge sell-off. So it's really like this first big red candle right here. We have this huge sell-off. And this is on the 5-minute. So what do? We broke structure. We inversed this fair value gap. We also inversed this fair value gap. What does that tell me? Order flow has changed. Price has changed. At the same time, that candle on NQ actually swept out London session liquidity, and we created a SMT off of London session lows. And what that means to me is London session lows have already been taken out on both indexes. It's as good as being taken out on both indexes. So this trade was more risky just because we had that SMT. Not that it's necessarily it is a meaningful thing, but we also had this huge SMT that really gets played out at like previous session lows. That's just how big. If I pop on like the 1 hour, we can see really like this SMT will get played out at like most likely get played out at previous session lows, probably somewhere up in this range over here. So I was willing to bet that price was going to continue lower than where we were on ES. And really, I only wanted to take a trade to London session lows because there wasn't really any other forms or strong draws on liquidity that I was able to identify that I believe price could reasonably go. There was a lot of 5-minute lows up in this range. But really, like the next like big low was pretty far down, like a pretty big move down, and I didn't necessarily think we'd get that today. Tomorrow we have a lot of high impact news. That's probably a move that can happen and occur tomorrow, if a move like that would happen, but most likely not today. And as you can see, we've just been consolidating all day. But going into this actual trade, once we broke structure, inversed both these fair value gaps, and we did the exact same thing and even more on NQ. I was willing, if I had good confluences, to take a good trade. So we had 3 major confluences. I didn't mark this when I took the trade, but there's an order block right here. So we basically pushed out of this order block. We pushed back into this order block, which is this. It's just these 3 candles right here. Also, in addition to this order block, we had a fair value gap up here. We also had equilibrium. And all these confluences are hit, all of them, which is really good. So if we pop into the 1 minute, this is where the trade gets a little sketch, a little not something I would normally do, or like the way I entered it. But we had all these really amazing confluences, and out of all these confluences, we ended up breaking structure with this red candle right here on the 1 minute. What that told me is on the 5 minute, on the higher time frame, we respected all these confluences. We had break a structure, we had inverse fair value gaps. We were going to continue this trend lower and more than likely continue this trend down to the down to the next feasible draw on liquidity. Our first draw for liquidity was these like 5-minute lows right here. That was kind of like the first draw that I thought that we'd really like reacted off of, which it was. But I thought we would continue a little bit past it down to London session. So essentially, I did originally have my stop all the way up here, but where I entered, this is terrible RR. So I basically just moved it 1-to-1. So it wasn't really like protected like very well, but I entered off of this red, like this green and red candle. I entered right here in the middle. This was my like exact entry. That's where I got my fill, and from there, it took price some time. It was mainly just kind of figuring out what I wanted to do, but eventually we did go to London session low, and then I exited. I didn't want to ride anything out. I didn't want to stay in this trade, whatever, because again, slow price action, probably going to consolidate, which it has been all day. But overall, like psychology wise, I was very iffy during this trade. I was wanting to exit. I was seeing all these dojis popping up. I was seeing what NQ was doing. I was thinking about this SMT that was formed right here between London lows and how NQ swept it. ES didn't, but I really felt like my bias was correct. And I did have correct bias, right? But I also had conviction in my confluences and in my strategy that this is what my strategy produces. And when it produces these confluences, this will most likely this is very probable. That's why I kind of like disregarded like this SMT. If I didn't have strong confluences, if I only had maybe this fair value gap or whatever, I don't know if I would have necessarily felt the same in the moment, even though maybe I should feel the same. But overall, that's the trade for today. I made, so now here comes how much I made, whatever. So this is something else. So since I knew this trade was more, not necessarily more like risky, but definitely something that I didn't want to risk a whole lot of money on. My position, I downsized my lot size on my funded and my personal account. So on my funded, I made like 300. That was about the risk that I was willing to risk today on my funded. And then on my personal, I think I made $50. But the thing is, on my personal, right when this candle came down, I had like my take profit right below it, and it didn't fully go to it, and then it went back up. I just exited because I thought maybe we were just gonna bottom wick real quick and just exit it. I probably should have held it, but it wasn't like a bad thing that I did that. So I should have made more. Should have made like $100 probably on my personal account. But overall, good trade, good day, good psychology wise, good bias. Again, I have correct bias. Like yesterday, I had correct bias. So I am understanding these things. I just got to put it into words or into action. I think de-risking helped a lot with my own personal psychology part of it, because I'm trying so hard to separate the money side from the actual chart side. That's such a hard thing to do. That is honestly one of the hardest things to do, if not the hardest thing to do in day trading, is separating money from what you see on the charts. So anyways, that's all I got for today. I hope you guys enjoy the little Christmas candles. We got the little Christmas candles. I'm not a retail trader. It's just it's festive. All right. I got the little I can't show you, but I got the matching PC lights. But if you want to go check out my Insta, I got short form content on there. Also kind of recap some of the stuff at Real Chen Trades. Linked in the bio description. If you need to talk to someone, got some good links down there. You're interested in watching any other videos, I think I got some decent ones. Go check out my trading playlist. Not my trade recap playlist. You could, but I got like some strategy stuff on there and some fun stuff. So you guys have a amazing, blessed day, and yeah, that's all I got. Peace.